Jeff Smith, what's good, big dog? Yes, sir. 7:57, y'all. Like a plane. Got the puppies up this morning. And yeah, man, got everybody get in there. Memphis, what's good, big dog? Melbourne, salute, big brother, salute. Soul Power, top of the morning, big dog. Yes, sir. Y'all already know punctuality is everything to me. So we're gonna get in there. See if I can get into play for y'all for a little bit this morning. Who that right there? Jeff Smith? Just hanging out. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, Jeff. Obviously, Saki wants some action too. Touch! That's enough. That's enough. Nice, man. Let's Saki, that's enough. Wait. Turn up, Saki. Get some Saki. Get some Saki. Get some Saki. Lock the door. Lock the door. Out! Hush. That's enough. I said hush. Hush, son. Hush. Yeah, he turn up. Okay, son, get some fun. Get some fun. Get some fun. Saki looking like goes bum. She goes bum, y'all. Yeah, y'all, they learning how to play rough. I probably play too rough with them, y'all. All right, y'all. It is 8 o'clock on the hour, so let me go ahead and get in here and get started on the actual show. But y'all know I like to show the dogs off first thing in the morning. For those of y'all who would like to get in the show early, because the show it's my show, but it wouldn't be nothing without the dogs. So I'll set that up and set it up right. Yes, sir. Good morning, team. It is Wednesday, March 12th, and we up here for another live with Samurai Kennels. Sorry, calendar on Apple Watch. You can stop it right now. Yeah, JT, what's good, big dog? Shoot. Yeah, man, I see y'all boys up in the chat. Thank you so much. So today's episode, y'all know how I like to do it. We like to structure it. I like to give out information here and there and this, that, and the third. Woo, woo. All right. So what we're going to end up talking about today is the Shogun Army, the man, the dog, and I appreciate that, big dog, and the discipline. The Shogun Army, the man, the dog, and the discipline. We're gonna just kind of explain some ideology, and of course, it's gonna be as it relates to the dogs, but sometimes the dogs are the way we relate to life. And then at the end of today's live, I'm gonna put a link in the description for if anybody wants to join the live, you can jump in there as well. American Game Dogs, Hunt Down Kennels, salute, salute. And if any of y'all know how to make moderators, I want to start creating my moderators so y'all can start getting y'all hardware for those of y'all who rock with me real hard. So if y'all know how to do that, please let me know so I can start adding that hardware to y'all so y'all can get it on every channel your own and y'all can start collecting that hardware with Samurai Kennels as well. All right. That being said, salute Damon Williams, salute. Last name Williams, so I know you're a strong man. All right, cool. So today's flow and how we're going to go with today's thing for those y'all listening who can't see the live. Oh, absolutely, Mel, absolutely. I got some shout outs to give to a couple of different kennels and a couple of different working groups that I want to shout out. We'll get to those in just a minute. Then I got a friendly reminder that I want to hit everybody up with, and I'm going to start having these friendly reminders ever so often on here to kind of help out with the dog man. Absolutely. Appreciate that, big dog. Then we're going to talk about filling your cup and what that means. And then we're going to go right into this week's episode and specifically this week's topics, which are going to be the code, the man, the dog, and shared thought. Then we're going to talk about the modern game dog or the modern working dog and how it fits in. We're going to talk about being the change in the world you want to see and how we're going to affect that. Tony M, salute. We're going to talk about how do you find the one? You got to be the one. Then we're going to talk about showing up versus showing up prepared. We're going to talk about the difference between toxic positivity and knowing your self-worth. Making yourself into the man you want to be. Salute. I appreciate that, student for life training. And then also, finally, I'll be dropping the link at the very end of this. I'll be dropping it because it says we can go live together. So obviously, if somebody wants to jump into live, we can have some discussion, or you can just take over the live and just share your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? This is not an interview style. We just chopping it up. We wrapping it up. This is your Wednesday morning coffee talk. So let's kick off the show. First, I wanted to give some shout outs to 3 specific channels. They are on Instagram, y'all, and y'all can follow these channels. The links are not the links, but their names are in the description. You have to search them yourself. And the first channel we'll talk about is Dale K9 Anderson. Mr. Anderson has been doing some amazing work. And the reason why I want to shout out Mr. Anderson as well as the other 2 names is because they're doing exactly the type of work I'm trying to get into. The exact kind of work I'm trying to get into. And so Mr. Anderson has some serious dogs and some very good looking American Pit Bull Terriers that are trained at an extremely high level. And they set a really good precedent for what it is that Samurai Kennels is achieving and striving toward. If your goals don't make you uncomfortable, then you're probably not pushing hard enough, right? Another one is a pupil of his, which is Chris _Psycho _ Sykes. And Mr. Chris Sykes is another one who is doing. I've never seen a pit bull puppy doing the work that his pit bull puppy is doing, and that looks physically on the camera looks to be a true, authentic American Pit Bull Terrier. And then finally, there's Modline Kennels out on the West Coast. Modline Kennels has been going hard. They've collected several obedience and protection work titles, as well as ADBA confirmation titles. So they're multifaceted. They're not a one-trick pony. And I wanted to just give some kudos to those 3 channels. They're on Instagram, and Modline is also on YouTube. So now that I've given those shout outs, I want to talk about a friendly reminder to everybody in the chat and everybody who you deal with. Please shout out these reminders because we're good to remind people about taking care of their dogs, cleaning up their yards, and making sure their dogs are fed. But one of the most underlooked things that you have or your secret weapon in your kennel is your family. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of the people who take care of us while we do the work that we're doing. If you got a wife and she's holding you down, man, buy that girl some Starbucks or something. It ain't gotta be big. It's just small gestures to let them know they're appreciated. If you got kids and them kids be helping you clean up that poop in the backyard, man, you know, so get them kids some ice cream on this Sunday. Do something for your family and take care of the people who take care of you. Additionally, make sure you mind the business that pays you. So each man is responsible for what he does. So if what you're doing doesn't benefit you, your camp, or your livelihood, it's probably not worth it. And it's what you call a liability. In every man's life, you have assets and liabilities. If a dog is a good dog to you, then it's an asset. If a dog ain't worth a damn, it's a liability. And sometimes when it comes to liabilities, you have to move them on to somebody who can turn that liability into an asset. All right. Additionally, I wanted to talk to y'all about filling your cup. And what does that mean? So to fill your cup is do what you want to do and what makes you feel challenged in a healthy way. If you're comfortable, you will never grow. Those are the words of David Goggins. Now, why is Samurai talking about filling your cup and all these words? I'm gonna break it down for you. All right, so filling your cup is a metaphor we use in the Air Force for doing a job or something that even if you didn't get paid for it, you'd want to do anyways, right? Now, most of us simply enjoy our dogs, right? If you're a hog hunter, you enjoy being in the woods and do that and do it in an abundance. If you are a dog trainer, you enjoy teaching that dog new habits. I really enjoy that portion of it. If you're a box man, you know what I'm saying? Disclaimer, we do not support and condone any illegal dog activities. Also, we do not violate the 1976 Animal Rights Act. However, if that's you and you underground and you doing your thing and that makes you happy, do your thing, but do it safe and do it educated. Also, I want to say I really appreciate y'all because I got 14 in here and 10 likes, which is good because we double digits, and that makes sense to me. I really appreciate y'all. Hey, Soul Power said he spoils his wife because she takes complete care of 3 kids and hounds, chickens, etc. while I'm on the road. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, and so if you will, you already told me this answer, but if you will, just put in the chat how long you've been married because some of these brothers, that is a goal. What Soul Power has is a goal. I'm working on that. And everybody in this chat, if you got something to share, put it in the chat because every one of y'all are an inspiration to another person in this chat. And it's very, very effective stuff, man. Very, very effective stuff. Each one reach one. Iron sharpens iron, as each man sharpens another. And sometimes sparks will fly. And we'll talk about the sparks in a little bit too. But yeah, man, make sure you're doing whatever it is that makes you happy. Like nobody can tell you what's right. Nobody can tell you what's wrong if it makes you genuinely happy. Just know what you're doing, be educated on it. And if you need help, that's what these chats are for. I seen Going Hard went ham last night. You know what I'm saying? Thompson's not on this week, but he'll be on next week. Pelican Bay's dropping knowledge all the time. Hey, y'all see that? Soul Power said June 13th will be 13 years. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Every year of marriage is a challenge, and every challenge is different. And you have to be able to change and adapt. You cannot stay in the same mindset. You have to be progressive. Cannon G, what's good, big dog? Salute. Big dog in the house. All right. So fill your cup. Do what makes you happy, man, because they're gonna judge you for it anyways. And next month they'll be 35, y'all. You already know. My brother, hey, salute. Big salute. All right, cool. So we talked about some basic things and developing a person, which I told y'all that was the goal of the channel. We're not gonna just talk about dogs. We're gonna talk about dogs, but we're gonna talk about being better men as well. And especially the circle I want around me, I want to put out an aura, but I also want to let you know what that aura is that you're feeling, right? So this week's topics we said we're gonna cover were the Neo-Dogman, aka the Samurai. We also gonna talk about the code, the code and the vision of Oda Nobunaga. I'll explain to y'all who that is because I know right now it's just big ass Japanese words, but I'll break it down for you. The man or the warrior that is you, the dog or the katana that must be made in your style and stature, and then finally share thoughts on how do we handle disagreements effectively in our community, right? So first, let's talk about the Neo-Dogman, how I define it. This is the term that I coined because I did not want to take away from the original Dogman. When I think about original Dogman, I think about all the names we talk about, all the names who come up in our pedigrees prior to 2000 and probably 10. Prior to 2010, I consider those like old school, like the gunslinging dogmen. There are still people underground right now, but I wouldn't mention you, and I would advise you not to mention yourself if you're still out there like that. All right, that's the best advice I can give you. Do your thing, do your hunting, but do it safe and do it effectively using the right equipment. All right, cool. So the Neo-Dogman, what it is, Neo just simply means new era or new term, right? So the Neo-Dogman to me is the new animal husbander, and you see it every day. You see it in in people's garage. Like me, my dogs are husband in my garage whenever it gets above 80 degrees outside. Do they need to be? No, they're completely durable and they can be. But as a modern dog man, moving to Texas, I realized that a lot of businesses are run straight out of people's garages. Like there's daycares in people's garages. There's barbershops that people just run business out of their house. Because why would I pay business for a storefront when I can just convert my garage into something that is a tangible, like malleable asset to me? You make everything in your life an asset. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. And make sure you fold it over 400 times to harden that steel, my brother. Uh, but yeah, so with me, I'm looking at setting up my garage as a pit bull workout station. And I wasn't gonna share this information with everybody because it's kind of like a business strategy that I wanted to keep for myself, but I think y'all need to know about this, man. For y'all brothers who got slap mills and got people you can trust, that's why character is important. And got people you can trust. Most of y'all paid over a band. Some of y'all paid 3 or 4 bands for y'all slap mills, right? So this is what I'm going to be doing when I get to Arizona with my slap mill and my carpet mill and my email. I will have memberships where you can come over. Obviously I have cameras all over the place, and like my dogs do bite. I also am very, very well skilled in the art of shoot your ass, right? So um, my dogs do bite and have the capability to bite and protect and everything like that. But when people are conditioning for a show, I didn't have a slap mill going into that show with Saki, and it would have been really effective to be able to use somebody's slap mill for an hour. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge rent for the use of my equipment. Obviously, if I'm inviting you to my house, you're not a friend, you are family. So like those of y'all in the chat, like when I do these open invites, whatever, obviously I'm gonna call you and check you out and get to know you. But when you come over, like, you're a family, and all my samurai are family. Like all my samurai have proven themselves worthy. And I'm looking for my 7 strong guys, right? But uh that's something that y'all, if you have equipment and you have skills, you can do it. Another thing I wanted to share with y'all about the Neo-Dogman is we don't really go to the vet like that. But I want you to be safe. So one of the hustles I had back when I was in North Carolina was a lot of my friends couldn't afford the penicillin or didn't know how to administer the penicillin to their dogs or the ivermectin. So, absolutely, absolutely. So in Arizona, my garage is actually it's climate controlled and it actually has heat and air in there. So it's gonna be my office, my training area, because it gets above 120 out there. But yes, I really do appreciate the caution. But I want to caution y'all about this medicine too. So one of the hustles I had back home was I would do shots for my friends because I was taught at an earlier, younger age by a family member how to administer the penicillin. Give the ivermectin orally, the 5 ways, 9 ways, just basic things that people can do themselves that they didn't feel comfortable doing, and they couldn't afford to go to the vet for. So with the penicillin, I had a specific price that you pay for the syringe. And the reason why you pay for the syringe was because it is illegal to not have a veterinary license or be a veterinary technician and administer medicine to an animal. However, if they pay me for it and I administer it as a friend, then there's a loophole there. So make sure you understand the laws of where you're at and make sure you're following them to the T. Look at your local requirements for vaccinations and see what you can and can't do in your state. Typically, if they sell it at Tractor Supply, it's completely legal for you to do it in your state. And most of the states I've lived in have Tractor Supply. And all the medications that I'm talking about right now are sold at Tractor Supply as well as your local feed stores, typically. All right. So with the Neo-Dogman, like we're hustlers. The Neo-Dogman is like, if you're still a box man, you're still a box man. You're a real dog man. Like that's the real, like to me, that's the authenticity of being a dog man. But for the Neo-Dogman, the person who's trying to be a real animal husbander, like what I'm talking about, and get this information, I got to share this with you because our box is the arena in which we compete. I.e., for me, that is obedience competitions and bite work competitions, and then with this litter that I just had, we're gonna start doing scent work competitions, right? And you'll see it. Like I'll show you my progress. I'll show you everything I got going on because if you're interested in it, then we can commerce here and we can share ideas here in this forum. That's what the Neo-Dogman is doing. We're coming up with new and innovative ways to enjoy our dogs and show their best light, but also to still keep their athleticism. Because to be honest with you, gameness untested ain't game. So if you're not testing them the old way, like you just have a really athletic dog that has all the abilities, but they just haven't been tested to that limit yet, and that's cool. We gotta make sure that it is cool. Hey man, I appreciate it, Harry Hayes. Oh, SC, y'all already know. Like I'm from North Carolina, my wife from South Carolina, but I rep the Carolinas to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? To this day, when I'm going to work and somebody got me pissed off, I got PD Pablo screaming on my radio, North Carolina, come on and raise up, and I go into work ready to knock somebody's shit off their face, right? But I don't, you know what I mean? I have some self-control, but the way I feel and how do people sometimes get under your skin, they'll make you want to do that to them. And we're gonna talk about what we call those people too, because those of y'all who are in the Samurai Army, the uninitiated won't even know what we're talking about. It's only gonna be those of y'all who are initiated and who follow it consistently and know what we're talking about when we talk about these uninitiated people or the chattel. That's what we're gonna call them, the chattel. You know, people with no purpose. They just walking around. They're nothing, right? But they can become something. They have to make themselves into something. All right, so cool. So we talk about the Neo-Dogman, y'all. And the Neo-Dogman movement, all that movement is just a movement to come up with new and innovative ways to keep this breed alive and keep it moving forward, right? And it's in a non-traditional way. Now, the code that I would like for y'all, my man Bumpin. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, bro. But yeah, man, the code is what we want to talk about next, man. And the code is the code or the vision of Oda Nobunaga. Now, I told y'all I would break that down for y'all, and I do believe that profoundness lies in simplicity. So I'm going to break this down really simplistic. You can do the research yourself on it, but I'm going to give you a very base meaning of who Oda Nobunaga was. Oda Nobunaga was a Japanese daimyo. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Oda Nobunaga was a Japanese daimyo or a lord, right? Of in feudal Japan between the centuries of 1500 and 1600 in Japan. Oda Nobunaga was famous for unifying all the daimyos, all the other big shogunates, and putting them together to make a unified Japan. Now, some of his characteristics was he was the first samurai to take a slave named Yasuke, which is like the thumbnail for this video, Yasuke, and make him into a samurai. Now, one of the things that Nobunaga got from that was hate. A lot of his peers did not like the fact that he took a non-Japanese man and made him a serf or made him a samurai, right? So it was a big issue. Oda Nobunaga also employed women in his service as well as Ronin samurai, which are samurai who have no masters, right? So he was out here just doing stuff that went against the grain, and that's where when I talk about the code, the Bushido code, I'm talking about the new way, not the old way. The old way prior to Oda Nobunaga, they handled things a certain way, and he actually violated some of the old codes. And that's kind of what I'm doing in the dog game right now. I'm violating some of the old codes because I see a unified dog world of working dogs and yes, absolutely. But I see us making a unified world of people who can work together, but are smart enough to do it, and also can have disagreements and do it as a gentleman, do it as a samurai, a person of duty, a person of service, right? So that is the Neo-Dogman movement. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And so Oda Nobunaga, like that is like the visionary, or that's like the vision statement that I'm using, obviously with a modern tone to it, right? Now, the man or the warrior, that's y'all. That is the individuals who are actually putting in the work. Now, no man is born a samurai, but you wield yourself into the samurai just like the sword is wielded into steel. It is done through hardness of character, through perseverance, through resilience, through education, and most of all, self-discipline, right? And so when you're wielding yourself into the warrior that you want to be, you have to earn your armor. That means your shoulder guards, your gauntlets, your chest plate, whatever designs are in your chest plate, they're all earned through acts of service, and each portion of it has a story behind it. That is your yard. That is your keep. That is your feeding regimen. That is everything about you that you use to armor and protect your name and your lineage in the dog game. Now, the one of the things that the samurai used as an adorning item and was a clear distinguisher of the samurai versus just foot soldiers was the oni mask. A samurai's oni mask was a mask that was used to symbolize. It was typically kind of like a scary looking, demonic looking, right? And it was used to symbolize that every man has inner demons that they fight, and therefore the samurai would wear their oni mask as an outward embodiment of the demons they were fighting as an inside battle. So your Oni mask for you, a lot of us have kennel logos. To me, that is our Oni mask. You earn your kennel logo by doing good works and good service and making it mean something to the other samurai. What's up, big dog? All right, cool. So we've talked about, so let me get y'all caught up for those y'all who just joined in the chat. Hey, so right now what we've talked about so far is the Shogun Army, the man, the dog, and the discipline. We covered some shout outs to a couple of channels on Instagram that y'all can follow that are doing great dog training work. We talked about a friendly reminder of taking care of the family throughout this dog training process and this dog growth process. And we talked about filling your cup and doing things that work for you to fill your cup. Now, the topics we're covering today so far are the Dogman or the Neo-Dogman, the Samurai, you, and the rest of the group, as well as the code and where I developed this idea of the code from Oda Nobunaga, Japanese daimyo, and visionary. And then we covered the man and the warrior and how the armor came to be for each samurai and what I view our armor as being in modern day times and then how you earn your armor as a samurai. Now we must talk about the dog. The dog or the katana, the weapon. This katana must be made for you, for your style and your stature. If you've ever watched any anime or any look at any historical purposes, you have different types of weapons. They have longer katanas, or they're not called katanas. It's the long N word I can't pronounce, and I'm not going to try to, but you can look it up. Typically, a samurai carried two swords, a full katana and then a dagger, right? But they were all made based upon the stature of the samurai. So a taller samurai would have a larger weapon, a shorter samurai would have a smaller weapon to match them. The sword was built for the man. The man without the sword is nothing, and the sword without the man is nothing. All right. So when you're building your bloodline, or you're building your dog, or you're simply raising a puppy from somebody else, how you fold that steel or make that blade, you wrap it with shark skin to protect the hilt. That is your preventative maintenance. That is your day-to-day husbandry. And then you ornately make the hilt, right? The hilt protector to keep your hand from touching the blade. Some samurai were so brave they didn't even put a hilt protector on there. And these are the things that we do that are different. They are our own personalization of our sword or our katana. Now the dog, I think about the blade, the dog's cutters, his hangers and his cutters, those are the blade. And the sharper they are, the more healthy they are, the better of a blade you'll have. Because no matter what kind of work you're doing, those dogs will need their teeth. And it's your responsibility to ensure that your husbandry of that weapon, of that dog, of that katana is immaculate. So whenever the time for battle comes, you're ready to go. Because it is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. All right. So make sure your katanas are sharp, make sure your dogs are taken care of, and make sure you're breeding them effectively to rebend that steel and fold it 400 times at a minimum. Steel that is cooled and not folded enough will be brittle. It will have macro fractures and it will crack under battle. A sword that has been heated too long will also become very malleable and will bend and flex and will not provide a healthy defense. So it must be done in the proper amounts with the proper amount of pressure. It's your responsibility to understand the sword for your stature or the dog that's right for your personality type. All right. And then finally, we must talk about the thought and how we communicate effectively, because I've seen a lot of arguments and discussions that are frivolous for our community and give us no value to our community. Thank you so much, Soul Power. So we want to talk about shared thought and handling. I appreciate that, student for life. I really do. But it's my vision, but it's unachievable without the people in the chat right now. It's unachievable without friends, right? Family. So for shared thought to me is handling disagreements how men of honor handle them to avoid emotional distress in combat. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So when I think about shared thought, I'll give you a perfect example. In last week's live, Tony Montana was in the chat, right? And he told me he didn't really agree with some of the things I was saying. And I was like, cool, that's great. And I hear you and I can take heed to it and I can reflect on it and I can think on it. And there was zero grief about it. Like to this day, I still hold Tony Montana in high regard. I still follow his channel and I still get excited when I see him in the chats because I know he's about to drop some serious knowledge on us, right? That is understanding being triggered versus being a person who is easily triggered. A person who gets triggered sometimes is justified. And you need to understand if you have triggers that are irrational, it is your responsibility as a man to practice that self-discipline to identify if you have something that triggers you. Even if you're triggered, being able to articulate your message can educate the person who triggered you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if I can't, it's my job to give y'all this information because I was blessed enough to be around great mentors and military tacticians that shared it with me. And that's I want to impart it upon you because honestly, I can give you all the information in the world, but it's on you to enact it and to go through the fire. Because even like that idea about the slap mill, there's gonna be issues because when you deal with people, some people want more than what you're offering, some people want less than what you're offering, and some people are gonna meet you in the middle. And it's your job to find those people who are the best people and to cultivate them and build them up. Because the people in the American military community are some of the best people I've ever met, hands down. And that's you. Thank you so much. All right. So that covers our topics that I wanted to go over. Yes, yes, sir. That is a great way to surmise exactly what I was trying to say. And I love how you just cut and dry like that. Profoundness lies in simplicity. The more simply you can explain something, the better it is. And sometimes I'm not the messenger, but I'm trying to get the message out there. My favorite quote, Tupac said, "I might not change the world, but if I spark the mind of the person that changes the world, then I played my part." And that just happened. Like I just said something, and you were able to surmise it and make it somewhere a way that we could all understand it. Thank you. All right, cool. So the next thing we're gonna talk about is the modern working dog and how it fits in to today's society. All right, so the brother Pelican Bay last night had a really good video. If y'all haven't seen it, please go back and check him out. I will always support other dog channels. I have no grief with none of them, and even if I did, I would not use this forum to discuss it. I would call that man individually and see if we could have an individual discussion. Uh, hey, nah, I just like, all right, you crazy man, but yeah. So the modern working dog, right? So Pelican Bay did a video last night, and he was showing that all dogs won't protect you. They have to be trained to protect. And that's a true statement. And like I'm glad he showed that because the realism of it is 90% of dogs, unless they've been taught to take contact under stress, they wouldn't protect you. But the barking helps. It's a distraction. It's a deterrent, right? And so the modern dog has to meet what you need. Like if you live in an apartment complex, um, you might have to come up with new and innovative ways to get your dog exercise in an apartment complex. And that might mean finding a room or finding a corner of a room and set up a meal inside of an apartment. Like it's been done. I've seen it all over the internet. Like people are doing it, but it's on us to make sure these dogs are getting exercise appropriately. Because I've had a dog in an apartment and he put holes in the wall and all kind of things because he wasn't. I did not know how to exercise a dog living in confined spaces like that. And if y'all look at the housing market and the way it's going, I just received a message this week about the boom in the housing market, and we're going to be getting into more tight quarters. People who had land, do you realize even if you own land, you could fall into what's called eminent domain, where the government comes through and says, "Hey, we're going to give you a check and take your land, or we're going to just take your land." But it can happen. And what's happening is developers are buying the rights or getting lobbyists to allow them to put highways straight through people's property. This has been going on since the inception of the of all 48 of the contiguous states, and it's going to continue to happen. One of the reasons for this is as human beings, we're the only creature on Earth who doesn't breed for sustainment. I.e., we don't look at health and like survival of the fittest, and our breeding. It's all based on emotion and love, right? And so we're overpopulating like crazy, and this is one of the things where we're spreading out and we're moving and we're like overpopulating. It, everybody wants to have a family and everybody wants to move forward without looking at things like family history, diseases, and things that could cause your kids to have really really stressful lives. Man, I'm not here to beat y'all about it. Like have your family be happy, but just realize that all of us being happily, eventually we're living longer and we're having bigger families. So yeah, that's an occurrence. And what that means is bigger communities and people living above each other as opposed to out from each other. So be prepared for that. And that's how the modern dog fits in. You need a dog that can be trained. We don't want bullies. Let me say that I don't want bullies in my blood. I don't want any external breeds in my blood. But what I do want to do is breed the specimens from the breed that we have. Yes, those are all. Those are all. That's what I'm talking about. That's why we have the chat because like that's exactly what I mean. Like coming up with activities to do to keep you from getting locked up or having to pay. I had to pay $2,000 to get out of that apartment. You know what I'm saying for the damage that was done. So I'm trying to save y'all from my mistakes, right? And that's exactly what it is. The modern game dog just needs to fit into your life. Yes. And also, like we said in last week's episode, people are dumb. A person is smart, but people are dumb. So when you put people together, you get dumb stuff. A lot of dumb stuff happening. All right. And with that, I'm going to move on to the next topic, which kind of is tied right into it. And it's be the change in the world you want to see. So until this last year, I wasn't seeing a lot of dog channels that were like that made you feel included. They were there, but they were still in the development. Like Going Hard was just getting set up real good. Pelican Bay was just getting his trajectory. 7-8 been going for a long time, but I think he's getting more the notoriety he needs. Schoolboy started his own channel. Triple J, Fat Bill, like they have their thing going on. All these channels are there now, and everybody has a mentor of some kind they can kind of go to, and the networking has been really, really substantial. And that comes from people getting tired of seeing the same thing over and over again. I think there was a great interview on Triple J's channel where he was talking to I think his name is Ricky Jones, the Rebel, right? And the Rebel was saying about all like the cutthroat stuff that he saw in the game, and that mentality was for competitors who were trying to win box matches. And at this point now, that there is no advantage to a lot of those strategies because, like I said, like I compete in above ground. I'm above ground in my competitions, and none of that matters. Like none of those tactics they use, like none of those tactics they use, like taking a dog that was already a champion, renaming it and winning the championship again to build the name of their kennel. Like none of those tactics matter anymore. Do you know how difficult it is to get an obedience title? Why would I change that dog's name and try to get another obedience title? Like that's crazy because it's above ground, it's tracked, and the work is already done. It doesn't benefit you to go buy this dog so you can go stop this dog over here. Nah, it's not. It's pointless. It's purposeless. So you have to be the change in the world you want to see. And to do that, you have to know what you don't want so you can do what you do like. And that was why my channel started. That's why I deliver information the way I deliver it, because I dealt with a lot of old school dog men who were really crass individuals. They were very knowledgeable, but their ego was equal to their knowledge. And that's one of those things where I'm like, you know what? I can pass on that. I don't care what you know. When you're gone and that knowledge is gone, I'm cool with that because it's not dealing with you is not worth the juice is not worth the squeeze. I don't care how much you know. It's just not worth the squeeze. I will not be disrespecting. I will not let you disrespect those around me. So that's why I'm so big on respect. I'm so big on code. I'm so big on culture. I'm so big on being able to get a clear and concise message to the people because the people are the ones who matter. Right now, this chat ain't nothing without y'all. Nothing. Like I would just be sitting there on the camera talking to myself, looking crazy, right? Hoping that somebody likes the video in 2 years from now and I get 2 likes in 2 years from now, right? But that's not it. We want to be the change right now. And it starts with daily actions. And with that said, I want to share a story with y'all that happened this week. So as y'all know, I'm competing with Saki for an obedience trial here in the near future. And I took him to a dog park. Whoa, 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 whoa! Before y'all go off on me, I took him to a dog park on leash with my prong collar. And I did it because I wanted the other dogs there to be a distraction to him while I worked obedience with him, right? And one of the coolest things happened while I was there. There was a pavilion off to the side, and there was about 7 dog owners there. And there was this one man with a pit mix that saw Saki, and immediately I could hear it. He started talking loud enough that I could hear him. He's like, y'all see that right there? That's a real pit bull. He said, it's not like none of these mixes out here. Look at the body and look at the structure on that. That's a real pit bull. And then he looked at me and he said, hey, sir, am I correct? Is that a purebred? And like proudly, yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir, it is. And then not only was Saki a purebred, but I'm out there doing healing and sits and downs. And these people are like, this looks nothing like the pit bull that I hear about on the news that killed people a month ago in San Antonio. Them were some blue dogs, some bullies that were not being taken care of properly. And at the dog park with other dogs running around, my dog is out there healing and jumping and going through all kind of hurdles and stuff and playing tug with me and completely unaffected by the other dogs. We almost had one accident with somebody's lab who decided he wanted to get a little bit too close, but I picked my dog up and the lady said, my dog's playing. And I kindly responded to her, ma'am, my dog is not. He was unbothered by them when they were over there by themselves, leaving him alone. But your dog growled at my dog. I saw his posture. I saw his fur on the back of his neck stand up. And if he bites your dog, even though your dog initiated it, I would be on the news right now. And so I explained this to her, and she was very receptive to it. And what's even crazier was I was the only, like, not to put race in there, but I was the only black person out there because I only see a lot of black people at dog parks, right? But there was Asian people out there, there was Indian people out there, and there was Caucasian people out there, right? White people out there, and they were all very receptive to what I had to say because of how I presented myself. So that goes back to the old school dogman of, hey, sometimes you have a good message, but how you deliver it can lose the audience. That's why, as far as the Samurai Kennel goes, there are several Samurai Kennel yards, but each one of the yards has allowed me to just remain the spokesperson and just remain the voice of it because my message is pure and I have pure intent behind my message. It's not always right. It's not always right. I'd be dead wrong sometimes, and y'all be tearing me up in the chats, and I love it because it refines who I am as a person. Yes, sir. Tone and delivery. And you also told me about inflection too, which is 100% correct. How you say it. I can say, bruh, what you doing? Or you like, bruh, what you doing? Same words, different inflection, right? So like you can affect somebody by how you deliver a message. So you have to be in control of your emotions and be self-aware when you're delivering messages, specifically as a breed ambassador. Now, I don't know if all those people learned from that situation, but I know that at least one person was influenced by my actions out there. And that's what a good ambassador of the breed looks like. It's not going to the dog shows. It's not being on YouTube, doing cool shit on YouTube that you can edit and fix on the camera. It's not that. It's about that raw in the community, showing them what we really about. We are the best people. My dog was the best behaved dog in the park. My dog would have killed all them dogs in the park. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this, but I don't need to prove that to them. They know, the dogs know that. That's why they stayed away when I was training my dog. You know, and that's the kind of mentality we have to have. Like, we know we're the best people. We know it. Like, no other breed husbands their animals like the American Pit Bull Terrier owners. Nobody does it. They'll pay money to go to the vet to do it, but no, we do it. We really do this. We live this life. And most of us can do horticulture. Most of us can husband other animals. Most of us even know how to stand our ground because all of us are warriors at heart. It's not one person I know in the game dogs. If you even the nicer people, the more laid back people, if you get them going, they will tear your head off your shoulders. Not one person I've met that ain't like that. Even the nicest ones, they will kill you. And they're not mean killers. They're just good men. And good men are able to defend themselves because good men defend the people they care about. All right, y'all. So we're at the 42-minute mark, and I want to give y'all a quick catch up. If you just got in the chat, if you're listening in the car and you can't see what's going on, we gave some shout outs to 3 channels. They're in the description. You can catch it. Go follow them channels. Please do. Give me your thoughts on the next week. Then I gave a friendly reminder to take care of your families and the people who cover you while you're doing this work. I gave you a quick topic about filling your cup, and then we covered some topics such as being a modern day dogman, Neo-Dogman, or a samurai, the code by Mr. Oda Nobunaga, the man or the warrior, that's you, the dog or the katana, that's your dog or your weapon, and then the shared thoughts and handling disagreements effectively in an effective manner. We talked about the modern game dog and how my line fits in. Then we talked about being the change in the world you want to see. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, the next topic goes right with those other topics we were covering, and it is, how do you find the one dog, the one person that you can count on? The answer to that question, is you have to be the one. To find the one, you have to be the one. Nobody else's responsibility is it to match what you want out of life but you. Cannon said, "Come to him." Hey, that brother Cannon, y'all. If y'all never chopped it up with Cannon G, hey, Cannon G is knowledgeable. I don't know who his mentor is, where he gets his information from, but Cannon G is a knowledgeable brother, bro. And like, I know he don't really deal with everybody like that, but Cannon, I'm giving you your flowers. Like, Cannon is to be on game multiple times. And then I got 2 more topics to cover, y'all. Actually, 3 more topics to cover, and then I'm gonna open it up. I got a link in here where I'm gonna try to drop the link in the chat. And oh no, you're welcome, bro. Hey, you earned it. I'm gonna try to drop a link in the chat. So if anybody wants to jump on the live, I'm gonna challenge at least one person to jump on the live, so we can start doing this because I've seen, if y'all ever seen Kevin Samuel's show, I kind of want to start getting like noobs in here, like greenhorns in here, and kind of breaking down the misnomers with them, like Kevin Samuels would do for relationships, but with the dogs. All right, cool. So if you down, if you're down, I'll send you that link in just a second. But so the next topic I want to cover is showing up versus showing up prepared. When you show up to an event or to work, if you're unprepared, what do you believe the outcome will be? Yeah, so that's a mouthful, but I want to give you an example of this because it's happened to me a couple of times, and my name has gotten drugged through the mud for it. I've given people information before, right, for them to action. But when they got ready to action information, they used none of their own original thought. And I left room for interpretation because I didn't want to stifle creativity. Those people are chattel. And you got the red pill and the blue pill movement, and it applies to what we got going on right now. The red pill movement are people who are woke, true woke, awake, and understand that the world is not everything you see before your eyes is not the world. And then you got the blue pill people who are confident, comfortable, and confident with just being mediocre and being chattel, being just a body passing you by in the night, right? So I'll give you a specific example. At my job, I'm a military training instructor. For those of y'all who don't know what it is, it's a drill instructor for the Air Force, right? And I will tell somebody, hey, we got a volunteer opportunity. I need you to show up at this time. We're going out. We're doing hiking tours for some people. These people will literally show up in Jordans and hot ass clothes and 85-degree weather because I just told them to show up. And in their mind, all I have to do is show up and everything's gonna be good. That is the person who is just showing up. They are not bought in, and those are the kind of people I do not want in my program. If I say, hey man, just feed the dog, that does not mean just feed the dog. And the only reason I'm putting this message out there is because there are people who genuinely don't know any better. Those people aren't necessarily blue pill people. They just haven't had a mentor to tell them different. Just feed your dog does not mean just feed your dog and clean up shit behind your dog. You will have still piss poor quality animals. Just feed your dog means do the best you can right now. And through these chats, through personal education, through reading, and through life experience, increase your ability and what you feed them. Like I just started feeding my dogs oysters this week because I found out the health benefits of giving my dogs oysters, right? Cool. All right, some of y'all might be like, dang, Dre, you dumb, you late. But like that's me. I learned it. And once you know better, you do better. For those y'all like that, when you hear people say just feed your dog, I just feed my dog Victor. They're not just feeding their dog Victor typically. Typically, Victor is a basis or the main supplement they're using for their food. However, them other people they be doing stuff, man. They might be throwing in some. So like I ain't about to get the whole thing, but I usually get some fish oil, at least some fish oil, some coconut oil at a minimum. At a minimum, I'm adding something to my kibble, right? Now, and that's big shout out to Cannon G because he put me on game because I was doing pure raw for a little bit, and that's not the way to go because unless you got a well balanced diet with raw, your dog's not getting what they need, right? So yeah, y'all, like it's very important. It's imperative that we articulate messages to people as if they don't know. We leave no room for interpretation. Now, when you show up prepared, that same person or another troop of mine showed up for the hike. They showed up with a backpack with water in it, a hat, sunscreen, bug repellent. Like this person did their research prior to. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all check out that comment from Soul Power. He gave y'all some of the basics that your dog needs daily, and make sure you're following that and adhering to that. All right, but the person that showed up to that hike with all the equipment needed was set up for a good hike. They had everything they need. They had hiking boots on, or at least some old shoes that they might get dirty in, because typically on hikes you're going to go through dirt, you're going to go through possibly mud, and you might even go through water or like sand that's going to mess your shoes up, right? And so coming in prepared, you can actually perform that job at a high level. And that's what his life is all about, is coming in as prepared as you possibly can be. And you're never going to be as prepared as the next man, but you can prepare yourself to be better than what you were entering into that arena, right? Now, another thing that I get hit with a lot is I get hit with a lot of Dre, you kind of unrealistic. And so the technique or the word we use for that in the military is uh, toxic positivity. And I want to talk about the difference between toxic positivity and knowing yourself and knowing your self-worth. All right. So a lot of people who meet me and they might be like, hey man, like this dude is like super happy, like this dude must be on drugs or something. Like he like that. And I'm like, nah, it's not that. And I do see life for yes, absolutely. I do see life as something that is what you make it. Like when I go into a situation, I go into a situation expecting victory. Even if I fail, I will learn from the experience. That's why I don't really get too upset, and I'm willing to take a lot of challenges up front without worrying about the repercussions behind that. So, if that's you, then make sure you are understanding the difference between toxic positivity, like the Disney mindset that anything can happen because it's not true. Like some people can't do it, some people won't do it, and if you can, then do it. Right? Those who can do. But know your self worth. Know what you can do. Do positive self assessments. Do realistic self assessments. And when somebody gives you criticism, whether it be positive, negative, or constructive, reflect on it, but don't live on it. All right. You know what you're doing. You know what you know. You know what you do not know. And then you'll also grow from both of those. So with me, I'm gonna continue to keep scratching. Oh yeah, I knew what you meant. So power. I 100% knew what you meant, big dog. But we're gonna continue to keep scratching, and even when I fail, like I'll share those failures with y'all because what you learn from it is accountability. Yes, absolutely, and resilience. And resilience. Be resilient from your failures. And then all of this was said to basically what I want y'all to understand is make yourself into the man that you want to be. Like it's completely on you to make yourself into the man or the samurai that you want to be, and nobody can tell you what's right but you. Nobody. Um, so with that being said, I'm about to drop this link in the chat, and anybody who wants to jump in the chat, y'all, all I ask is that when y'all come in here, that y'all are respectful of each other. We're not gonna do no arguing on here. I'll just shut it down. But I do want to give y'all the opportunity to get out there and get your thoughts out there. First, let me find the link. All right, so got the link. Copy the link, and all right, I'm dropping it in the chat right now. Cool, cool. Got it. So y'all got that. Y'all got that in the chat. I'm standing by for y'all to hop in here. And at this point, we're done with the structure portion of the live. But for those y'all who want to jump in there, go ahead and jump in there. I'm waiting. I don't know how this works. This is my first time trying to go live together. So somebody please jump in there just so we can test this out right now. But yeah, man, like this is the way it goes. This is the way it is. Hey, absolutely, Tony M. And hey, and top of the morning to you, big dog, and the rest of the day as well. Yes, sir. Welcome, Tony M. So we got so far, y'all, like it's it's been peace and blessings. We trying to get these watch hours up because I got some goals, man. I'll share it with you. It's not it didn't appear in the chat. So it should be on the number one fan. Number one fan is my alternate page. So it should be like a Bruce Lee icon in the chat. Y'all don't see it? Let me see. It didn't show up. Oh man, let me try it again, y'all. Let me try it again. All right, cool, cool. All right, let me see how I can do this. Mm, all right, y'all. Let me get my untechnologically savvy self in here to this email and try to send it via email. Uh, uh, how do I do this? How do I do this? Can y'all? I think so. Yo.
Yo. Top of the AM, my brother.
What's good? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
Because my screen is frozen. On my phone screen is frozen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace and blessings to the chat.
Oh,
We
what's up?
fighting down. Yeah, you over there froze, man.
It's all good, man. I appreciate y'all working with me through this process. This is something I'm really excited about, brother, and I wanted to be able to, like, at the end of the show, to get more interactive, and it's good. And it's just something I wanted to be able to have with y'all so we could actually really wrap it up, you know what I'm saying, and talk about how we want to talk.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Candy, you still can't get there? I'm gonna drop the link again. I don't know if it lets you do multiple people at one time. But so how you doing, big dog? Tell them about your kennel a little
Oh,
something.
man. All is well, man. We over here just working, putting it in, staying consistent. Focus on a few things right now. Don't want to speak too much about it. But yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
locked in. We strapped in. I'm gonna step outside. My son is pretty loud.
It's all good. It's all good. I gotta figure out how to get my camera back working. I zoomed out to go get the link for my text messages, and
Yes, sir.
it my camera is just frozen out. Since.
Where your shoes at, son? Here, put your shoes on. Excuse the baby boy.
All good.
Here, put your shoes on.
Um,
Let me know when you good to go.
I'm
Matter of fact, I'll mute.
let's cook something up. Let's cook something up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So hold on, sorry. My wife just texted me. Man, you look crazy on your screen. They played you right now.
Yeah, man. They set me up, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah, man.
And even
So
when I flip it, it doesn't.
can you hear me, brother? You was cutting in and out. Yeah. Hold on. Let me cut my Wi-Fi off and see if that's my issue.
Okay. So in the meantime, I'm gonna ask some questions to the chat because there's some stuff I wanted to know myself. Okay. All right. So yeah, you're back, loud and clear.
Okay.
If
Right on. Right on.
you hear us,
Salute to the chat.
thumbs up in the chat.
Salute. Yeah, man. Just wanted to give you your roses, man. You doing your thing. The vision coming to light. You know, beautiful hands, the work ethic. Setting the precedent. And uh, you know, the word I hear you often say is pontificate. We all using our thoughts, um, coming together and really finding a way to uh, elevate ourselves, get to that next level.
Absolutely, absolutely. While I got you here, because I know you understand this YouTube thing a lot better than I do, is there that I
Yes,
can
sir.
start giving out the hardware, like I said earlier? Do you know exactly how to do that?
I think on here, if you click down on a said person, you can hold on their name and it should give you the option to make them a moderator.
All right, so Go to channel. Oh, copy that. All right. So hey, so we giving out hardware today, big dog. Thank you. I really do appreciate you.
See, only them '80s babies know about that right there, though.
Hey, that no, that's the whole Nickelodeon team. That's you got the Rugrats out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on, talk about it. This was my childhood right here.
All right. So we just got our first one of our first ones, brother. Let me get y'all added in here, man. Those y'all who have been loyal, like y'all getting that hardware for today. But yes, sir, we hooking it up. We're hooking it up. Thank y'all so much.
Man. Oh, I got some more information for you, as far as that the horticulture goes.
Yes.
Matter of fact, what I'll do is let me show you how my mint is doing right now. I'm just gonna show you the mint. And I haven't this is just from a compost bin right here. But you're talking about this stuff, bro. Once you plant it once, it just continually grows. I haven't done anything with that. And this is mm, I planted seeds. Matter of fact, I didn't even plant seeds in there. I threw what I presumed were dead roots in the compost, and from that, I just got mint that just continuously grows out of there. That was an old compost bin.
Hey, you let them know. You let them know some of the benefits of mint, good brother.
So okay, let's say if we're gonna do a rub down for our dogs. Back in the day, people used like witch hazel. Um, mint is a great substitute for the witch hazel to rub down your dogs. Also, um, pests like fleas and things, they hate mint. So I personally, by both my dog houses, I keep mint. I have containers where I grow mint. I also put mint in their food and water. A couple mint leaves I add it daily to their food and water. It is an herb. Um, those are a few things you can put. If you do some cold pressing, you can get oil out of it. You know what I mean? And that's where you get your fresh mint oil. It's just all around. It's really great. And I'm growing specifically spearmint. So it's got like a peppermint taste to it. So it's real nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You add it to some sweet tea or anything of that sort. Hey, get away from them fresh eggs, boy. Move. No. Sorry about that. Let me get my son. No.
You good?
You better not touch the egg.
While you over there, man? I use mint because I like to drink a little bit of rum, and I like to use it to make my sugar cane Cuban mojitos with a little fresh lime.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Getting it in on the bartender side of the game.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Sir.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, hey, Tony M said, "What's the topic, man?" Tony M, honestly, man, anything you want to spill with us, bro? Because every time you spill, man, whether it be growth and development or just basic knowledge, man, it's lit, fam. It's lit. But this is. I wish my screen wasn't, man, but yeah, we'll work with it. And in the future, I will do better. I will start doing these practices offline before I bring y'all on here, man. But I do appreciate y'all with us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was just reading these comments. Where's the video? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, man. But outside of that, man, shit, I know you were just trying to get a few people on testing this out. I ain't gonna hold the line up. I know other people want to join up.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put that link back in the chat and then jump in there. You know what I'm saying? If you got anything to get off your chest, get off your chest. This open air program, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep.
Thank you so much.
I'll hop back in line then. Peace.
Let them know your pages and stuff. Oh, all right. All right, y'all. The link is in the chat. Go ahead and somebody else grab that link and go ahead. Let's do this thing, y'all. I know Cannon was in there. Cannon been in the queue for a while, and Melvin has too. Both of them have expressed interest to jump in there. There should be a link in the chat, y'all, for y'all to jump in here and go ahead and make that move. Oh, Cannon, I don't. Brother, give a brother Soul. I'm pretty sure Soul got chickens. Soul do that work, man. His channel is all about homesteading, along with the American Pit Bull Terrier. Yeah. But yeah, y'all. Like we just wrapping it up. Can y'all hear me? Because I can't see or tell anything. It's just a screen right here, and it is. All right, Melvin, send a request again. I didn't get the little accept button down here because I had the comments pulled up. Click the link again. Let me see what we can cook up from here. Bet. Yeah, it's not giving me the option to do it right now, man. If you're clicking it, I'm not getting any notification. Yeah, I'm not getting any notification. Well, y'all, I'm not gonna hold y'all too long, man. It's 9:04. What I'll do is I'll go live again at some random time. It'll be like a late night live or whatever. When it's not like daytime hours or whatever, so we can I get these reps in and do this more effectively. Uh, I hate the technical difficulties here, but for those of y'all who rock with us and held it down, man, just know that I will be cut your camera off, cut it back on. All right, let me see how we do this right here. Yes, I cut the camera and I did the best I could to cut the camera. It's not giving me a chance to do this. See, share. Let me try this right here. Yeah, y'all, I'm about to go ahead and shut this live down. And all right, let's see. Let me try this. Remove. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna shut this one down and we'll refire. I'll find another day that's not one of my normal days to post on, and we'll just practice getting people on here and off here. I'm not gonna hold y'all too long, man. This has been long enough for the technical difficulties. I do appreciate it though, and thank you. Talk to you later.